Hello everyone and welcome to Game 5 in a series between Kaz and LiquidZenio here on Shattered Temple. This series has been just absolutely amazing. If you guys have watched it from Game 1, Game 5 in a best of 5, obviously these players are tied at 2 games apiece. Otherwise, then why would they be playing Game 5? Now, we see Kaz spawning as the blue Terran player at the 12 o'clock position. Meanwhile, LiquidZenio spawning in the close air spawn positions as the red Zerg. Zerg versus Terran here on Shattered Temple. We'll see who will come out the victor on this particular map. And I know I know it's been said in the past, but I believe a lot of players feel that Shattered Temple is a little bit more Terran favored than Zerg favored. Reason being is that the natural expansion, even though it is fairly close and you do have a decent ramp point, it falls prey or falls victim to the Zelnaga Caverns instance where the destructible rocks at both of the third bases makes it very difficult for Zerg to try and take that third expansion. Especially these rocks here, Zerglings, minimal surface area for them to actually attack, and then trying to take the gold mineral patch is also difficult as well, as it's actually in the center a little bit more. Now, the front door will be spotted by Zeno, and Zeno will see that there is no barracks here, so he is going to be looking for perhaps a proxy barracks, and Zeno may overreact to this and try to go for a spawning pool. No, he is not going to overreact. He's going to play his game, play his strategy, and figure out what is going on. Hatchery now being placed down here. This is a rather risky strategy. Does he know about the gas? Yes, he does know about the gas. He did guess correctly that Kaz was not actually going to do any crazy strategy, as we now see a barracks being established here, and we'll see what Kaz tries to do with this. Orbital command now being upgraded as well, and as we now see Zeno flying away, he does see the orbital command being upgraded, as an SCV now will make its way down south. So I believe Kaz wanted to feign pressure, but there is no pressure coming at all. Zeno is going to set up his expansion, and a little bit of that mind game early on really not affecting Zeno's overall strategy, as we now see the SCV wandering around on the inside of this base. Extractor is already up. Zeno will be a little bit more hurt for minerals just because he is going to harvest about 100 gas, then cut his drones from harvesting any more in order to just get more minerals, perhaps try to train some double queens and play a little bit more on the defensive end. We can see a factory is being established here. Kaz is training up some Marines. They are sitting on the ramp now, as we have the second hatchery now up and a bunker being established. The hatchery does not spot this bunker though. Even though the creep is starting to spread over there, an overlord is not making its way in, so Marines may be able to jump inside here, and Marines with Hellions are going to put a lot of pressure. These bunkers can start to be chained together, and then Marines, once they have bunkers next to each other, can essentially teleport in between bunkers, dealing a lot of damage. The front door does have Hellions now being trained. We can see if any more Marines will be added, as now a second bunker may be established by Kaz. He needs to get that bunker down and quickly. Otherwise, nope, the SCV now attempting to run away. Will a bunker be established? That is the key question there, as damage is now being dealt to this hatchery. The creep is now starting to slowly spread and make its way over. A second bunker would be very, very helpful, but I'm not quite sure what Kaz is planning here. You can see that the bunker is off over here. The Zerglings don't know what's really going on, don't know that there's nothing inside that bunker right now, as we are now moving into Hellions. This is perhaps one of the strangest plays I see. A salvaging of that bunker. 75 minerals have been returned. The spine crawler is done, but the Hellion now able to sneak inside. So Kaz using this opportunity to now just get information on the inside of the space. It will take 3 shots to kill a drone. Will he get the drone? Yes, he gets 1 drone kill. Perhaps going to get 2 drone kills. And the Hellion is at least worth its minerals in taking down 2 drones. The Zerglings now making their way back down. Not quite sure where they're going. Oh, some Zerglings may get taken out once more. The Zerglings do have that metabolic boost and do finish it off. Taking a look at the total resources lost, Zeno losing 50 more resources as an overlord now makes its way in. Marines will be able to shoot that overlord out of the sky, and Zeno may end up becoming, or he will not be supply blocked, but he is not going to be able to train nearly as many units as he would like. And now at 43 over 44. Roaches are being trained here. We'll see if Zeno uses this hatchery more as a macro hatch, or if he's just going to simply start mining away here. As soon as that roach warren is done, you can see that there's currently, 4 larvae ready to go. And we may get a lot of roaches. Yes, already up to 3, perhaps getting into 4 roaches in just a moment. And the units will be making a move out. 3 Hellions looking to put some pressure here. They are going to be able to hug the far side. The spine crawler not getting any more damage. 2 more drones now taken down as the Hellions look to perhaps regroup once more. Roaches are out. Zeno currently up to 3 roaches, soon to be up to 4. And those roaches now chasing after those Hellions. Hellions being forced to return home. Now, it's important that Zeno is going for drones after getting that handful of roaches. He is not looking to actually attack. He is just using those roaches as defense. As you saw, a large number of drones being trained. We are also going into layer tech, as we are upgrading at most likely the natural expansion. No, deciding to do it at the main base. This is uncharacteristic of Zeno. He normally upgrades at the natural expansion for more hit points, but opting this time to do it at the main base, perhaps to hide his tech just a little bit better. Zeno once again still supply blocked at 68 over 68. Kaz, those supply blocked as well, so no one really doing all too well, as a drone will get torched down in its prime, unable to do anything else, as the Hellions now simply retreat once more. 72 over 100 food versus 64 over 86. The roaches are now battling up against a Hellion. The roach should be able to win that battle. That +1 armor, plus the fact that how slow those Hellions do attack, make it very difficult. The Queen is in the south side, and look what's going to happen here. Drones, Zerglings surrounding, and Kaz losing his Hellions. And he cannot really afford to lose those Hellions early on, but there is a drop now on the north. The drop, however, simply pushed back. There were some worker kills. The medevac now going to pick up the rest of those Marines, as the Queen was able to get in a lot of damage, but not quite enough to finish off the medevac. One more needle spine would have done it, but no. Kaz now looking to perhaps add in some more siege tanks. He does not, now starting that siege tech as well. He does have 1 medevac that is not on the brink of being destroyed. SCV also coming over to repair, as well as Marauders now simply doing a push over here at the 6 o'clock position. Zeno needs to take this expansion, and Kaz really utilizing the fact that those destructible rocks are so difficult to take down early on. You can see that the Marines and the Marauders are going to simply be coming in here. Are they going to stim? No, yes, they are going to stim. Now going after that hatchery. The hatchery taking a lot of damage so far. Zerglings now trying to make their way in. It was canceled, and now the Marines and the Marauders should just end up jumping inside that medevac. Are they going to jump inside? Yes. And now perhaps live to drop another day, as Marines and Marauders now attacking from the main base. So Kaz attacking everywhere at once. Zerglings trying to battle it through. Zerglings not doing a good surround at all. 1 Marine does finally get taken out. The Marauder may get focused down now, as the Marauder quickly jumps inside. And very nice micro by Kaz. Picking up the Marauder that was getting focused down, and now going after some of those roaches. Banelings, however, making their way in, and the Banelings taking down 2 Marines. The medevac attempting to now retreat. As we see, there are Marauders and Marines inside here. Zeno with the larger army right now, but the economy advantage definitely belongs to Kaz, as we still don't see this set of this hatchery mining at all, as there is nothing there just quite yet. SCVs looking to establish that 3rd base. Kaz should be able to land that off in just a moment. Now going into double engineering bays, and also getting the armory upgrade for further upgrades. But now we see a drop of Zeno coming in, and Zerg players do not normally drop, and this is going to completely catch Kaz out of position. Roaches now dropping, and now what is going to happen? This Baneling drop dealing so much damage. The Banelings should be able to find some of those SCVs. More units now dropping off over here. Zerglings, there was 1 Baneling that hit multiple SCVs, as we are continuing the drop once more. Roaches attacking down over here. SCVs are all split. What is happening, as the Roaches and even a Queen joining in on the fight. A Roach now trying to survive against multiple SCVs. It looks like it will survive, as now Overlords are spewing creep, preventing any new buildings from being landed off over here. Siege tanks now blasting away, as it looks like a new round of drops will be coming in. Queens just engaging. Are the Queens going to start transfusing each other? Is a key question there. The Queens are going to battle up and take down multiple units, and Zeno completely catching Kaz off guard as there are those transfusions. Units are now all picked back up. The Overlords now making their way out. Perhaps going to start dropping onto some of those units once more, taking down some more Queens. No more transfusions, though. One Roach will get taken out as Kaz now down to 48 food. 17 SCVs versus 47. You can see that the Roaches are looking for a fresh and easy target. Gonna find some Marines, focusing down Marines one at a time. Oh, a nice pickup there, but not quite in time as the command center has been destroyed. 2 bases to 3 as this hatchery was forced to be canceled. Not quite sure when that happened as another drop now coming in. Roaches attempting to run away, but in comes the Banelings and the Roaches from behind. Banelings going to start splashing, accidentally detonating on some of the other units as both sides are dropping and picking up units. So will Kaz be able to unload all those medevacs, Marines, and Marauders? Yes, it looks like it will be able to do so as more Marines now coming in. Overlords, Zeno, this is just crazy drop play as medevacs now once again on the run. Looks like the level 2 weapons upgrade will get canceled as we now see more Zerglings and Roaches back off once more. Marines attempting to run away. Roaches, both sides battling it out. Zeno still with the food advantage now. Are they going to jump inside those Overlords? It looks like they may be doing exactly that. Yes, and now trying to get away. The Marines going to try to stim underneath. Some Roaches have been left behind, trying to save the rest of those Overlords. And who came out ahead? After all of that, Zeno with a 40 food advantage, lost 200 more resources, but he is now, I want to say up on bases as soon as he can transfer some more units, but now coming in for another drop. So the Doom drop here, constantly coming, more Roaches now coming in as well. Overlords and that Ventral Sack upgrade plus the pneumatized Carapace doing a great job. You can now see the Marines are in position. Are they going to be able to drop any or take down any of those Overlords? It doesn't look like it as the Marines do shoot down one Overlord, but there was nothing in the belly there at all. Kaz does have 1-0 upgrades, now going for 2-0. Engineering Bay is upgrading units or upgrading off over here as the Overlords now looking to perhaps don't know about the additional base off over here. Overlords have to be very careful. Siege tanks, Vikings are now going to go hunting, and with absolutely no Hydralisk, or without any Hydralisk and without any Queens, those Vikings are going to shoot down all of these Overlords. Zeno is in trouble. He does find the base over here. Zeno now dropping Roaches left and right, perhaps going to take down some of these units. Overlords have now completely pretty much let go. No, there is still one Overlord trying to drop off more units, going down, taking down multiple SCVs, Marines, finishing off some of those units as well. The Overlords are going to back away, but the Vikings should be able to take them all down. Now, back in the main base, Roaches and Zerglings have found a new place to attack. Zerglings going to take down the reactors, take down perhaps some of these Marines. Roaches need to continue to that pressure here as the Zerglings are now backing off. Vikings still chasing, but we are now going into Mutalisk. Roaches still sticking off over here. It is going to be 3 bases versus a 1 base now. Kaz at 94 over 105. Roaches still fighting against these Marines. The Marines, the Roaches trying to finish them off. It looks like the Marines are not stimmed, but will still beat all of those Roaches here. Not very much of a food advantage any longer. Mutalisk now going after Vikings. The Vikings taking a lot of damage, won't be able to escape, at least trying to do a decent bit of trading in terms of damage, as the Mutalisk are now going to cause a lot of harassment. There is level 1 weapons upgrade coming underway. Currently, there are 9 Mutalisks in the air as the Marines and Siege Tanks now come in for another drop. Queen now down to 35 hit points. Will it be able to escape? It looks like it will be able to. Drones now pulling away. The lair is going to take a lot of damage as the Marines now pushing into the main base. Zerglings and Mutalisks once again swarming in. The Roaches now trying to push in. Banelings may be able to fail. No, not able to find their targets at all, as the Queens now being forced to back off. The Queens are going to absorb a lot of that damage. In come the Banelings once more. The Mutalisks are in the air, meaning that the medevacs cannot pick up those all of those Marines, and now all of these medevacs may get taken out. 1 medevac down, 2, 3. The rest of the medevacs are still here. Zeno going to clean this up, and now Kaz down to a very minimal army, but both sides still having a large number of harvesters. Zerglings now looking to run across the map, perhaps deal some damage over here. The destructible rocks have been taken down, I believe. The Marines pushing back those Mutalisks, but these rocks, no, have not yet been destroyed. 732 hit points. And there is 3 armor on those rocks. Zerglings do have armor upgrades, and that is it. 1 Marine on the high ground, though, preventing those rocks from falling. But Roaches should be able to make their way over there. A Viking now going Overlord hunting. 1 does get taken out. Second one may get taken out as well. Overlords move relatively slowly, even with the pneumatized carapace moving as quickly as a Thor. As the Mutalisk now coming in. I believe the Mutalisk can actually, yes, gonna go ahead and take down the Marines. There it goes. And now trying to put pressure here, but there is a missile turret, not going to be able to attack. Perhaps taking down the rocks would be a better choice, and then allowing the Zerglings to swarm in. A drop may be happening once more. Close by air definitely plays into drop play, but the Zerg player, Zeno, the first to capitalize on that. Zeno now up to 62 harvesters compared to 57. Level 3 weapons upgrade coming in. More Mutalisk being added, as we'll see Zeno get into a 14 Mutalisk in just a moment. Evolution chamber also being added here, as the destructible rocks have yet to be destroyed. It will be essentially 2 bases, or 3 bases to 2 bases, as this base is nearly going to be mined out. More barracks are still in production. You can see 4 barracks with an additional 3 more now being trained. A medevac drop trying to do something off over here, or perhaps a lone Viking was destroyed, and now Zerglings testing that front door. It looks like the siege tanks should start to destroy these rocks off over here. Marines are staying close by near those siege tanks, making sure that Mutalisks are not able to clean that up, as now Marines going to do a stim drop here. So the Marines simply walking into this group. Drones are going to fall. 1, 2, 3 drones already down, and now attempting to take down the hatchery. Zerglings now making their way back. Perhaps the Zerglings will find this hatchery, and perhaps no, it's going to come close, but the Marines are all being repaired, or all being healed. Mutalisks now making their way over. The drop has been neutralized, but not before the hatchery was destroyed. 2 bases now compared to 2 bases. The destructible rocks here have been destroyed already. A command center should be landing here in just a moment. You can see it being placed there at the 3rd base, as Zerglings now still swarm in the center. The Roaches and Zerglings both have 0-1 upgrades, soon to have 1-1 for the Zerglings, and eventually even 2-1. Mutalisk now just putting pressure or feigning pressure here. Zeno has a slight food advantage, but nothing to really capitalize on. You can see that the extractors have already been essentially destroyed off over here. You can also see an evolution chamber not doing much of anything. Should perhaps be trying to do more research, perhaps 2-2 research, as the Zerglings are going to take down these destructible rocks. Infestation pit now being established. It looks like we should have a Tech 2 Infestors, or perhaps a straight Tech to Tier 3, as the Mutalisk still causing harassment issues inside the main base. Missile turret now down. Marines arriving to the party, but there's not enough of them to really clean this up just quite yet. SCVs are trying to build those missile turrets, and all those Mutalisks will finally back off, as we see 25 Mutalisks in the air. Zerglings and Roaches and Banings making their way over. This set of destructible rocks could fall at any moment, perhaps actually putting down pressure, as a command center upgrades to an orbital command. Harvester count 77 to 56. Medevac going to do a very, very, very roundabout drop off over here. The Banelings will be in position, as they could explode and detonate that damage. Oh, a Thor now getting in some easy shots into the back of those Mutalisks. The Mutalisks taking a lot of damage there, as one Marine unable to really fight back that swarm. Medevac now looking to do a drop. It looks like it will be pretty much go unanswered. The Marines should be able to finish off all of these Banelings well before the Banelings find their target. And oh no, oh, one detonation does hit multiple Banelings, as those Zerglings may be able to clean this up now. And a little bit of a misplay by Kaz, not destroying the Banelings fast enough. There are burrowed Banelings over here right next to a missile turret. That's not normally where you want to burrow your Banelings, as we now see. That should get cleaned up in just a moment. One Marine, one Zergling off over here, keeping track of the 9 o'clock location. One Marine trying to fight back against the Zerg swarm, but not enough. A Queen and some Mutalisks join in on the fight and take that down. But Kaz now with the food advantage. 82 drones versus 40, or 82 SCVs versus 49 drones. Just cleaning up drops left and right. or cleaning up with drops left and right. Mutalisk, however, finishing that off over here. It looks like those banelings were destroyed, as we now see a large attack coming in across the center. There is one fungal growth. All those Marines have fallen, except for one. It does get taken out as well, as we now see more Marines, siege tanks in the center. The Thors have 1-0 upgrades, soon to be 2-0, as those Mutalisks do have armor upgrades, so they are going to be able to absorb a bit more damage. Then they are, and it will take level 3 weapons upgrade to shoot down or 2-shot from those stores. Infestor, only one Infestor in play that I see now. We are going into Broodlords. Corruptors now being added. This is looking very bad, as Kaz is sitting on 200 food, or nearly that much, with about 4,000 resources. Marines are now going to do a very large stim drop here. 24 Marines, 3 medevacs. This hatchery will fall in just a moment, especially with 3-1 upgrades on those Marines. All the drones now being destroyed. The Queen also getting taken out. And Zeno losing this one particular base here. Zerglings now attempting to swarm in. The Mutalisk going after the medevacs. And now this drop has been handled, but Kaz can replace all of those Marines fairly easily. You can see 3 Marines now being trained at a time. There are multiple barracks. He could easily just queue this up and just crank up production. Siege tanks in the center, looking to perhaps roll out here. A new base established here at the 9 o'clock position, as the Zerglings and Banelings are backing off. Zeno with a crazy drop in the early game, but unable to hold on to his advantage. We see a hatchery has been established over here. The rocks were destroyed off on this side, as the Marine still doesn't know about this expansion just south of him. Zerglings, Banelings, Infestors, and even Corruptors now with Broodlords being added. The siege tanks will pummel and absolutely pummel this expansion down here, as the Zerglings looking to, the Mutalisk looking to finish off and destroy multiple SCVs. Worker kill count 85 for Zeno, and still Kaz still has the economic advantage with a crazy number of SCVs. Queen now trying to make its way in. Broodlord now in position off over here. One Broodlord and only one Broodlord. Perhaps going to start attacking. Those Broodlords should deal a lot of damage. Mutalisk now coming in. Broodlings coming in as well. And now in come the Marines. The Marines may start to just focus fire this location. There is an Infestor here for a possible fungal growth. Are we going to get a fungal growth? No, Zeno not paying attention and losing that there. More Broodlings now being just delivered care of those Broodlords. Siege tanks, Corruptors now being added. Zeno has Zeno has a larger army, as he's only down to 28 drones, but this game needs to end quickly for him. Otherwise, the economic advantage is going to be too much. Broodlords now making their way in. Marines now making their way in. One Cocoon destroyed, as the Queen now engaging. The Queen has to be careful. It's going to get shelled. There it goes, as the battle rages on. 3 Broodlords making the slow trek out. The weapons upgrade on those stores. Vikings now being added. Infestor is gonna perhaps land some fungal growths there. No, is there any fungal growths? Yes, some I believe, or is that just green splash? Not quite sure. Marines still pushing back. Zerglings now trying to swarm in once again. Mutalisk arriving to the party, but Mutalisk not gonna counter all of those Marines. And then now it looks as though, wait, spoke too soon, as the Marines were all over-stimmed. And now the Viking is backing off, and now only one Thor is left here. Zeno going to finish off these siege tanks, as we now see a 50 food discrepancy in just the harvesters, and the army tab still shows Zerg slightly ahead. Marine unable to really do anything there. Zeno is running off of this base now. Drones are being retrained up, as we see a macro hatch off over here. We are at hive tech. No more gas here. Not harvesting any gas here. The Queens have plenty of energy, and we'll see what will happen, as Zeno perhaps needs to heal up some of those Mutalisks. One burrowed Zergling should be just outside of sight range perhaps, but I believe the detection range is actually further than the sight range on those missile turrets. Thor now being retrained, as Kaz about to get up to 200 food. Kaz responding well to the early drops, and now with a 78 food advantage, looking to continue to press that advantage. Yes, you can see that the missile turrets do reveal that Zergling. The Zergling does have 2 armor, but it doesn't regenerate extra quick just because it's burrowed like a roach, and there it goes. Missile turrets are already in position. We'll see what's going to happen. Zerglings are now just burrowing all across the map. 2 Zerglings now making their way in, just getting destroyed. Zeno sitting at 120 food. Harvester count 48 compared to 88. But the Terran with such a large army now simply moving outside sight range, and we now see Medevacs looking to do another drop here. Zeno with no defense, and now in comes the drop straight on creep. Marines, siege tanks should perhaps siege as the drones now making their way over to this expansion. There is no expansion to find, so Zeno will be forced to go to the bottom right corner. Zerglings now swarming in. Siege tanks will get taken out as the Medevacs don't have really anywhere to run. No will be able to run back into the center. As you can see that all of those Vikings and Marines were there to protect that precious, precious cargo. Zeno still slightly behind. We'll see if he gets off any good fungal growth or any good exchanges now. There are just simply too many Zerglings and not enough high tier units. The Marines dealing so much damage with level 3 weapons upgrades. Siege tanks with level 2 upgrades also able to destroy roaches and Zerglings and Banelings, even though they do have armor upgrades. Siege tanks are a bit too far. You can see there are Corruptors off over here. Marines now making their way inside the base. Corruptors may be able to push in. No, it doesn't look like it. There is one fungal growth. A second fungal growth will be needed, but the Marines finishing off all this drone. And Kaz sitting at 200 food with close to, or with over 5,000 resources, should be able to finish this battle off. Zerglings, Banelings, Infestors all ready to go. Perhaps looking for a nice opportunity to attack. 104 Zerglings and 41 drones now, and that's always a sad situation when your opponent's harvester count is almost as equal to your Zergling count. That is going to be a very uphill battle to climb. Already up to about 7,000 resources now as the Zerglings and Mutalisks are trying to get in position. Siege tanks are just going to slowly push here. They are upgraded 2-0. Marines, it's going to do a good job here as a Thor can simply attack, move down. We are finally getting into the Mobius reactor. That means Ghost will start to be added to this army. Massive snipe could be coming in. And we'll see what Kaz does with this command center. He could lift it off and try to land off over here, as there are a lot of Zerglings just simply hiding here, not really doing anything at all. Where is the red Zerg army? We are at 83 food. This is just the Zerglings, and that is all there is. The Marines are going to push in onto this hatchery. And with only 2 Corruptors, 80 Zerglings, and 1 Mutalisk, I believe that will be GG, as the attack force of Kaz is pretty much going to be impenetrable, especially with those 3 upgraded Marines. Level 3 weapons attack for the melee now being added, but it may be too little too late. Zerglings are still swarming off over here. I don't believe the Marines will spot or scout that side of the map, as the SCVs are now coming down to join in on the fight. Kaz perhaps looking to lose SCVs to free up some food, but it doesn't look like Zeno is actually allowing that yet, as the Vikings are now going to finally make their way in. This massive attack force, a lot of Marines can almost just A-move into this group of Queens, Spine Crawlers, and handful of Zerglings, and I believe that will be it. Kaz going to take Game 5 in this best of 5 series, unless I am missing something completely on the map. Marines gonna get impaled by the Impaler or the Spine Crawler there. And there is the GG. So LiquidZenio losing Game 5 in this best of 5 series. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.